tell us the difference, how you got the part the first time and how you got the part the second time?
No, I got the part both time by going in and performing what every actor has to do in order to make it up the ladder, which is perform illegal sex acts. No, we all have to sacrifice to get where we want to go. I will always say really quick is that the original Battlestar, I'm a big sci-fi fan, I always was. I was into visionary, very impactful science fiction, not cheesy science fiction. I was always into something a little deeper, richer, more provocative. But we all loved Star Wars when it first came out, obviously. It had a huge impact on all of us. But when they were going to do it for TV, the first thought for an idealistic actor like me, who got into this business to do really meaningful stuff, I mean, it wasn't about, for me, the money or the fame, because I thought that was an impossibility. Honestly, you grow up and you look at the TV set and you think, could I ever be one of those people? And all your friends support you in that belief. Because the minute you say you even want to be an actor, they look at you and their eyes cross and they get all pissed off and say, you're crazy! Who do you think you are? You're going to waste your life. What makes you think you could do that? But nevertheless, I started on this process of learning about acting, learning about life, learning about myself, never thinking it would lead me to a career, but it did. And I got to a point where acting meant a lot to me, because to me it was about something more than just life. It was about what art really is. It's a window into infinite possibility. It's a window, art opens up the door to expand into anything is possible, and God forbid we all sit here with creative imaginations, imaginings, knowing what is possible in the world, and yet looking at a lot of the craziness in the world and realizing there can be so much better, so much more. And we all have the ability to take it there, but most of us are stuck in one way or another. Acting was my doorway out of that box of being stuck. It opened up incredible doorways for me. I teach that, by the way, and some of the teachers that taught me were some of the most extraordinary Yodas that I've ever met in my life. But nevertheless, getting back to your question, when they brought the thing up of the BattleStar Galactica series, everybody in town wanted to go there because back then, you have to understand, networks were getting 65 to 70 million people watching a show. It wasn't divided up into syndication. So this was a big deal to cast this show. But my thought was, they're just going to rip off Star Wars. It's just going to be an action-adventure, cheesy, silly thing. And so I turned it down. I decided I'm not going to go audition for this. Well, we all know that the best way to get anything is to turn it down. Do you ever notice when you don't want it, everybody wants to give it to you? Do you ever notice that? And the more you want it, the more they want to go, sorry, So I turned it down, and all of a sudden, 6 months later, every actor lives for this. It was called Magic Hour, because Magic Hour is when you're trying to look for perfection in order to justify this huge budget, finding an actor that can live up to this incredible expectation, because we're going to pay you a lot of money, it's a multi-million-dollar production, and so nobody, you ever try to look for perfection? You never find it. There's always something wrong, the color of your socks, your underwear, God knows, there's always something that gets in the way, and then when you have about 40 casting people, producers, directors, trying to make a decision, everybody has something that they don't like about a particular actor. So they went through every actor in town, they turned down everybody, and they're finally desperate. That's when I stepped in. This is the best time to step in, because when they're desperate, then the person that walks in the door at that moment that remotely resembles what they're looking for is the savior. And I swear to God, it was the perfect time for me, because I honestly don't think I would have gotten it. Had I gone in and auditioned with everybody and gone through the network process and auditioned between, for 40, 60, 80 people sitting up on these chairs in these dark rooms, it's scary auditioning for network, believe me. That's one of the biggest things actors have to get through in order to get on a TV series. So I wouldn't have gotten it otherwise. And so I did this Class of 65 2-hour movie of the week with Rosanna Arquette, one of her first projects. She was 18. And I played a coach. And after they'd gone through everybody, Glenn Larson was shown this 2-hour movie and basically decided that I was the guy. And so instead of me auditioning, and by the way, I'm not famous, I have hardly any money, I'm living on nothing, and a limousine is pulling up in front of my little, broken down place and taking me out to this incredible restaurant you know, and I'm getting plied with one bottle after another of Cristal champagne, you know, and I got talked to. I mean, you have to understand, for an actor to have somebody trying to talk you into something, it's the most delicious feeling in the whole world. Because actors never get that. You're always begging, please hire me, please recognize me. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, they really want me, you know? And I'm thinking, well, I don't know. I don't know, you know, because I was really, honestly, I mean, I sometimes think I was really stupid because I wasn't seeing the long point of view. I just kept thinking, I want to do something really meaningful. I couldn't get over the fact that I thought this would just be a cliche, a redundancy. And so he kept talking to me, and he finally said to me, because he had learned that the show that was on TV that was so good called Family, got all the Emmy Awards for Best Drama. And so he goes, yeah, he says, it's a combination of Family and Wagon Train. Now, the Wagon Train didn't get me, but the Family did get me. That meant it's character driven. I thought there was going to be some dramatic context. And then he did probably the number one smartest thing he ever did was to take the Ralph McQuarrie art, the original concept art for BattleStar, which I don't know if any of you have seen it, it's pretty amazing, and handed me that script that had all the concept art in it. And then, of course, everything goes out the window because the little kid in you, you know, looks at all these pictures. And I say, oh my God, I'm flying through space, you know? I'm Luke Skywalker, you know? And all this idealistic actor shit got all, you know? And it was like, get me, you know, the job. And, but I did recoup for a moment and told my agent, I said, look, if it's up to God, if it's supposed to happen, great. He says, can I go for it? I said, yeah, go for it. And so it was one of those things where I was in this place where I was willing to let it go. I honestly, thinking back, I don't know how I would have done that, but I was in one of those places, and they kept negotiating, and they negotiated all the way up until the day of filming. And basically, the network was so pissed off because every single time they called back my agent, the agent would raise the fee, and they would say, who is this guy? And he would raise it again. And they realized that if he knew that they had to hire me at that moment. So I was not in on this because it would have given me, you know, an ulcer in my stomach. But he just kept raising it. So finally, they made an agreement on the day of filming. And I swear to God, I got the agreement. He called me up. I had to run over there, 20 minutes, get into costume, get into dress, get into the thing, grab the script, run over to the set, and get ready to do it. And here is this. There's worldwide coverage, production crews, film crews, TV crews, Newsweek, Time, all roaming the set. I've never seen a set like the original BattleStar. It was the biggest thing happening. It was the most expensive, biggest production in TV history. Let me just tell you something. Every actor is very human, and all those fees they negotiate never seems realistic to you because inside your own heart you think, how can I ever live up to that? You know, you can't even equate it. But to walk on a set with all of this activity makes you feel very, very, very small. And I tell you, and big actors have said this before, they're terrified on that first day of production, not knowing whether they're going to be able to deliver. And I'm getting ready for the first scene, and they're rushing me because they're in a hurry, and they just got me, and we get up to film it, and it's the wrong scene. I learned the wrong scene. And I had to go back to it. I had 2 minutes to learn, and it was the scene at this big star map where I'm with Starbuck and Boomer, and we're doing this scene. I can only tell you that for me, you know, getting that production obviously has made a huge difference in my life, and I can't believe that I actually, you know, went through it. It was an 18-month shoot. The new show films in 8 days. The old show filmed in 10 to 12 days. So people got rich on the original show just in overtime, double time, golden time, triple golden time. I mean, just sitting in their car reading novels, you know, waiting to pick up the actors. It was quite an amazing experience. But on the new show, I can only say that I don't know how many of you know or went to it, but I produced the 25th BattleStar Anniversary Convention at the Universal Sheraton in Studio City because nobody was doing anything. One of the reasons why I even attempted to bring back BattleStar is because I couldn't believe they were bringing all these shows back like Chips. And Chips, you know. I'm thinking, how can they do that and not bring back Battlestar Galactica?